back to the Raw side, we're going to talk a little bit about another big beefy dude, Rusev.
Yeah.
He had a match there with Dominik. And I was wondering how Dominik is going to go when he, up against a huge guy like Rusev, But
Yeah.
Dominik pulled out all the stops and proved that he was a heel, He had to cheat his way in there.
And like cheat and steal, like Eddie Guerrero, his hero, No,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
I think he held his own against a big guy like Rusev before he started to cheat, right? But Dom is a very interesting wrestler to me right now with the fans because it seems like the more he cheats, the more he gets cheers. So those boos and all those fans yelling at him that they didn't even let him speak on the mic before, now it's just the other way around. So now again, we have a true heel that is being cheered. So again, we truly don't have a true heel because the fans, they keep cheering him no matter what he does. So I think he's a very interesting character, interesting wrestler right now because no matter what he does, the fans just keep cheering him on. And match-wise, he matched toe-to-toe with Rusev in that match. So kudos to Dom.
Yeah, and I'm glad this also helps Rusev, I think. It helps elevate. A lot of people were not liking what he was doing. Maybe too many matches with Sheamus and all that stuff, but it's good. It's good for Rusev to get in the title scene a little bit, even though I don't think they're going to give him the title. I just don't see that in the books for Rusev right now.
It'll be, I wouldn't mind Rusev getting the U.S. title. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves a little bit of a push, He's been a good soldier, you might say, for the company for a long time now. They brought him back. Give him the U.S. title.
What you just reminded me of? There hasn't been a draft this year. That they need a switch around. They need to switch around a few players.
Yeah.
A few guys did switch over. We saw Jimmy Uso and LA Knight. They both came over to the Raw side, and we saw Sammy go over to SmackDown. But I think Rusev would be a good guy to bring over to SmackDown, kind of liven up that place. I feel sometimes SmackDown is really starting to show that they're the second show,
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because now Netflix has really done a good job of promoting Raw, but SmackDown kind of feels like the redheaded stepchild of the two.
Was the other way around for so many years.
Especially
Because-
with the tribal chief, what he was doing.
Yes, when the tribal chief came back with that intensity, that's when SmackDown started turning around and became the main show for this company.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, take turns. And I know Netflix, I'm sure Netflix, they paid a lot of money to get a Raw on there, so they want it to be the big show, And it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
It completely makes sense.